We're live. Little unplanned. Um, well, I was planning to go live today, but I was supposed to wake up a little bit earlier, so I could prep a little bit more. Um, I got curtains behind the PC now, so no more, or at least not as much bleed out as before. Donovan, how's it going? We have a little uh, naughty Amazon unboxing here, and we're gonna talk about some stuff because I today did not start very well. Last night I've been up. I didn't go to sleep until like 8 o'clock this morning, um, because of things. But last night some stuff and just some stuff I wanna talk about, and then we'll find something else. I don't want this to be like a an unboxing and then go into like a real conversation. But I feel like as a content creator, I kind of have to talk about it a little bit. So, but first, let's get this Amazon unboxing done. Yes, I know I said no more surprise unboxings. And then I got hit with some deals and coupons and some low stock warnings. So I obliged. Also, once again, credit to my credit card. Well, this was Affirm, but it's basically the same thing. Which I don't recommend anyone doing this. I'm just being really financially stupid because I'm stressed out a lot. But hey, more content, right? Which we'll get to that too. We'll before we get to the real thing, we'll talk about the channel update. I was gonna do a video, but we can talk about it a little bit here, and then I can make a video about it later. So I got two things in here. Oh, you guys can kind of already see what's going on in this box. Man, I love the way Amazon packages my SHFs. So we have here. Oh. Oh. I see. Okay. So this is the SH Figuarts Gomora figure. And I didn't realize when I ordered this that there's two options on there. This is the original release, Gomora. I was hoping to get, you can tell because it's got the red Bandai symbol. This is the 2016 release of it. So I've owned this one before. I was kind of hoping to get the reissue version, just to see. I like to see what the joint tolerances and differences are. And then on top of that, we got something I've never owned before. Let me pull it out. We got the SH Figuarts Eleking. Oh yeah. Eleking. This is the one that, well, both of these were both like, Tamashii was like, hey, we're very low on stock. Or Amazon was. And here's some coupons. So I did that. So we've got two more Ultra Kaiju, two more Showa Kaiju to add to the shelf, which is bad because you guys can't see it, but my Ultraman shelf is actually full. I don't know where these two are going to go. I'm going to have to completely redo all my shelves, I think. Or at least the Ultraman and Godzilla Monster Art shelves. So, fun. I don't mind. We're going to set the, well, obviously we're going to open them. I'm going to try to make this quick as possible, though. But I decided to get these, one, well, like I said, because they were on sale, two, because my firm, three, content, and four, because in the chance that I, go to Japan, when I'm buying Figuarts, I want to save as much space as I can so I don't have to bring back too many luggages. And these kaiju specifically have pretty big boxes, although Gomora's is not as large as I remember. Maybe I'm just so used to like the extra large size of the Monster Arts boxes nowadays. Because back then I didn't have too many of the larger Monster Arts when I first got my Gomora way back in 2016, 2017, whenever it came out. It's been a long time. This figure's old. I can't believe I actually got the classic version. That's kind of crazy for me to think about. So I'm just making sure he has all the right accessories, because I have had some bad luck with these, getting the very old version. I've gotten some QC things. If you guys remember, way back when G-Fest 2022, when I did my first time rebuilding my Ultraman collection that I had to regrettably sell, my Ultra 7 had 2 left fists, I think, or 2 right fists in the box. And because, well, one, I bought it at a convention, there was nothing I could do. And then the other thing was, because it was so out of date, because it was the original version, Tamashi's replacement program didn't count for it. Okay. Well, that's going to be fun. Well, definitely an original release. I can feel that. Here it is. Look at that. It's nice to be able to stream in the middle of the day and still be able to see things. I just got to mess with the settings a little bit. Still. I think I'm actually going to turn the brightness down a little bit more. I wanted to do auto brightness, but what about that? Does that look a little better? What do you guys think? Does it look better? Look at that. Gomra looks good. This is super annoying. The arm just pops straight off. So it barely moves and then it just pops. Which, would rather have it pop off than break. That was my first inclination when I felt it loose, but that isn't what happened. So, I've got to check one thing really quick here. Okay, so pretty fun. Not too surprised about Gomra, besides the fact that it is the classic version. A little sad, but hey, Gomra is Gomra. I'm glad to have Gomra back in the collection. The first time I had to sell my well, I didn't have to. I chose to sell my collection, dumbly, of Ultraman figures. I had kept Gomra, and the second time was actually the first time I sold it. So, can't really get it online from Japan for retail anymore. So it was kind of just like it fits. Let's open up Eleking really quick. We're making good time. These are older releases, so I'm not like, I don't know. This is just me playing a little bit of catch up. I almost went really crazy and got Bolton and Metron, but the order of just these were already pushing it, to say the least. And then adding those two didn't have coupons and stuff, so, and they didn't have low stock warnings, so I was just not really worried about getting them right away. Looking pretty good. Smells good. I was pretty impressed with Red King, so I'm excited to see if Eleking does the same. Eleking was released the year before, I think. Oh, there was tape on this. I was wondering why this wasn't coming off. Ah! Why? There's another one. Oh my god. Tamashi. Oh. We got a visitor from the Bulldog. Hello. Hello, Bulldog. How's it going? There we go. These plastic shells are annoying. Holy moly. This is large. Got an electric tail wrap. And, of course, we have Eleking itself, herself, himself. I swear. And Tater decided to bless us with his ASMR skills. Can you guys hear it? He is chewing on a ostrich bone. I think that's the bone he's got. He's got his ostrich bone. Dude, I am A big fan. Big fan. Now, I thought Elekking came with swappable hands, but I watched a ton of reviews yesterday. Just to kind of mentally prep myself, and it does not. It looks really good, though. I'm pretty crazy about the shading. It is odd that the head is, like, super smooth, and then the rest of the body is, like, rough and has cuts and detail, like suit detail. I'm pretty sure that's accurate to the Ultra 7 Elekking, and maybe all of them, at least that are in this design. Not talking about the Max, the blue one. But really cool. So we got Elekking and Gamora. Once again, super psyched. Sorry if I don't seem like super hyped. Has everyone checked out the newest review that posted? Yo, bro, what is your most expensive item? That's easy. That's a very easy question. I can't bring it down, but my, it is still the most expensive not toy. It is the most expensive collectible I've ever bought. It's my X Plus Gigantic Series Shin Godzilla. That is far and away the most expensive thing that I have bought and owned to this day. Still, in this moment, it's still number one. But price doesn't matter when you love, well, okay, price does matter, especially now more than ever. But at the time, price didn't matter how much I had to pay for it. It was, I had to get it, and I ended up getting it. So, that was also things. Mine was the Monster 7054. Oh, whoa, 192. Is that USD? Hopefully that's not USD. That's 54 is only a $100 figure for USD. But if it's a different currency, then that would make sense. Yeah, it doesn't. That's still a newer release, so you don't. Hopefully. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. I had to do some thought in my head. Yeah, that's about right. I'm sure that's about retail over there. That makes sense. Yeah, that's a great figure. It's wonderful. Mine's right up. Well, you guys can't see it, but it's right up there. Very nice. I can bring it down. I love it. Definitely not my most expensive Monster Arts either, though. That would be my Mecha King Ghidorah. Right? Yeah, Mecha King Ghidorah was more than Shimo. Yeah? Yeah. Mecha King Ghidorah was more than Shimo. Yeah, because I paid over $300 after shipping for Mecha King Ghidorah last year. So yeah, my most expensive Monster Arts. Evolved Godzilla worth it? Yeah, I would say so. I enjoy mine. Yeah, you can see him. He's right here. He's a lot of fun. He's really articulated. If you know any of the Dragon Ball figures, he articulates just about as much as most of those. So he is packed with articulation, which is the main thing I like about the figure. Some people like to not consider that when talking about him, but sorry, I had to check something. I thought something was off with Gomera. There we go. Okay, we're good there. Yeah, I would say Evolved's worth it. Okay, unboxing is done. We got two awesome Ultra Kaiju that currently don't have a spot on the shelf. So they're going to hang out with me until I redo my shelves. Which is funny because I had to do it anyway. I'm just has some stinky... I mean, yeah, they do. I don't really think Evolves is too bad. The eyes are so small, and in most lightings you're not going to see the eyes, for him at least. The jaw not being able to open up a lot, and the neck not being able to look up does, admittingly, it does hurt the figure, but you can kind of cheese some of that a little bit. What the heck is that? Oh, that was weird. Sorry, I had some stuff on my desk. Him not being able to look up kind of sucks, but like, he's just packed with detail. Okay. And now I need a light. I need a selfie ring now. Gosh damn it. Found a bootleg. I would do what's in with your financial means, of course. I'm not gonna, but bootlegs are, I just, personally, for me, I can't get behind bootlegs because you're not supporting the brand. Especially bootlegs that are literally one-for-one ripoffs that look not as good. But I also understand that Scar King is pretty expensive for most people. I would say try to maybe wait to see if he goes on sale this summer at Amazon for their Prime Day sales for July. They normally throw all their Tamashii products, or a lot of their Tamashii products, on sale, and because I can assume that Scar and Shimo won't be selling very well over the next few months, I would expect that both of them probably will be on that sale list. If not July, then maybe October for the holidays. Might not get it, but if there's a bootleg Shimo, I mean, yeah, even if she goes on sale, she's still probably going to be $150, $160 USD, so even more for Canada. She's awesome though. I just put up a review of her today, or yesterday, almost 24 hours ago. Holy moly. Which is one thing I was going to say, is if you guys haven't checked out that review, please check it out. Yeah, it's been up for 22 hours. Hey, excuse you, the hot sauce is not for you, big guy. She's wonderful, the official one, and I can imagine a bootleg of her is not going to look good. It's just going to be missing some of the finer details that the figure has. That people don't like to act like she has, and she does. Is there still issues? Yeah, kind of. There's other things. I like it. Is it worth the money though? No. So, Shimo was bigger than I think she is. I'm pretty sure. Like if we're doing the tip of her tail to the tip of her snoot, she's probably a little bit. She's not as wide as Haya Ghidorah, but I'm pretty sure on her hind, if she could stand on her hind legs, on all fours. Well, yeah. Well, she's not supposed to be taller than Ghidorah canonically on all fours. She's only taller than Ghidorah when she's on her hind legs, and that's concept art, so we don't even really know if that's officially like in movie canon, because her concept art, which the Monster Arts is based off of, is completely different than the actual movie, model wise and like just scaling wise. But I'm pretty sure in both she's taller than Ghidorah on her hind legs canonically. This definitely is. I don't have the 2019 Ghidorah right now. Monster Arts, I am getting I'm going to attempt to get the special color version at some point in the future. That is a purchase that's a very, she's also, or the Ghidorah is also $240 USD, so I have to wait to get the Ghidorah. The Ghidorah is expensive. And the only place that has it is Big Bad Toy Store, so yeah. The only thing that I have open for purchases right now is basically the Comic Godzilla Soul is your favorite verse. Legendary is not my favorite verse. I have all the new, almost all the new Empire figures because because I'm a Monster Arts collector. But my favorite, it's not even a verse. Shin Godzilla is my favorite kaiju. So still to this moment, unadulterated Shin Godzilla is my favorite. So, which is kind of why when I don't know what I have for thumbnails, I just throw out the blank red one that we currently have on right now. But yeah. So we're gonna talk about it here. I'm gonna one shots. Yeah. That's comic book Godzilla's overpowered, but I mean, like, basically every comic book character or version of every character is broken. Because I mean, comic book Superman's ridiculous. Comic book Batman's crazy. Comic book Spider-Man. Comic book Venom. The list goes on and on. Comic book versions are probably the most powerful versions of every character ever because they can just be crazy. Because that's kind of the point. You know, the comic books have to be a little extra crazy to make sure that people don't just watch the movies. They got to try to pull people into the comics. So, which I got to catch up on comics later this year. Probably, hopefully during Prime Days this summer, they have some of the. I have a ton of comic books in my list, but those aren't channel purchases. Do you read World of Dark? Do you read? I have not. The only thing I've read is I have the volume 1 of Rulers of Earth, I think. And then I do have a ton. I do have the two of the compilations. I have the one with Godzilla in Hell, and I think it has a few other things in it. I haven't read those yet. I got most of the IDW compilation books. I am missing Rulers of Earth Volume 2, the big book, and I'm missing. I think there's one more. There's one or two more now. It has some bad shit, crazy stuff. Okay, I'll have to check that out. World of Darkness. I will write myself a note here on my phone to make sure, if I don't have it, to make sure that I add it in my list. Let me do that really quick. Oh, okay, my phone's not working. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So I'm checking a few things. So, man. Okay. Sorry. This. Gotta. Okay. On YouTube. Okay, so this is a YouTube thing. Okay. World of Darkness. I will. Let me look it up here then, so I can. Okay. Oh, okay. I maybe have seen those before. Do you have all? Sorry, I was looking at that. I know that's rude on stream. Do you have all of the GXK? I don't. I don't have Mothra and Suko, but Amazon gets them in 34 days, 35 days. They get them on the 15th, so I technically will have another another order from Amazon here in a few weeks, but you know how I literally just picked out what lawnmower I want to own, and it got me happy. Yo, Alex, how's it going, dude? Lawnmower purchases are awesome. I don't. I got heavy allergies during this time of year, and mowing the lawn is one of the things that destroys me. So I am very glad for you to find a lawnmower that you want to choose. Dude, that is so much fun. I'll admit, when I lived in a house for a little bit, that wasn't my parents. When I lived in a house with a few friends of mine, that was some of the fun stuff to look at, was the furniture and decoration. It's one of my favorite things about just kind of like moving in general, is figuring out new ways to set things up. When I got my own apartment, basically the last place I was at, that was one of my favorite parts, was getting couches, getting posters up, doing all of that. And now that I'm here, I've gotten comfortable and I've just been using it on toys. Mostly toys instead of doing some of that stuff. So I'm falling a little bit behind, but that's cool. I would hope to one day get to that point where I have to choose a lawnmower. But, you know, the market's not looking good for housing, and, you know, it'd be what it is, but we'll see. The future's not all dark, hopefully. Hopefully. But I hope you're doing good, Alex. Hope you're doing good, buddy. The X plus 30 centimeter lawnmower, dude, that's the big dollar. I wish, man. I'm down to 4X pluses now. All 4 of my shins, and that's it. I got my gigantic and the 330 centimeters up there. So, hey, I gotta get that lawnmower. Could you do the final battle pose where they all jump? Tenzal, I could attempt to. I tried to do something for the Shimo review like that, but I don't have enough Tamashii stands that I trust to hold up Shimo, Kong, and Scar King. Shimo, the Monster Shimo is heavy. She's heavy. She's not the most heaviest thing in the world, but she's got some weight to her. And to have multiple Tamashii stands just holding her up is a little scary, but I definitely could try. You really have been having a sale, but I'm so glad I could jump on stream. Seriously lacking. Hey, Alex, whenever you got time, they post to YouTube, and then, hey, if rewatching streams isn't that entertaining, which I don't blame you, I know you'll catch a stream, which, hey, you did today, so thank you for taking time out of your day and popping in and saying hi, man. I really appreciate it. I do. I really appreciate anyone who takes time out of their day to watch the streams, especially impromptu ones like this where it's kind of just like, oh, I gave a 13-minute heads up because I didn't make a post this morning and I hadn't decided a time. Could do the articulation for Shimo. I did. The review that I posted yesterday has that all in there. Hey, Sharktopus, how's it going, buddy? So, but yeah, I think anyone who takes time out of their day to watch the streams, because everyone's busy right now is a crazy time. I mean, for a lot of people, school's finishing up, whether it's college, high school, stuff like that, graduations. Just relax and enjoying the weekend. The streams are always fun and relaxing. Thank you. I hope so. Which is fun because I have an uncomfortable conversation that I'm gonna have a little bit on stream. I'm not gonna talk about it in detail. Did the surprise happen? Yeah. I did the unboxing first. We got Gamora and Eleking from Amazon. They had low stock warnings, and I got some coupons for them, so I grabbed them really quick. Who supercharged Evolve Godzilla or Shimo? Godzilla wins, and I'm not saying that because I'm a Godzilla fanboy. There's suggestions in the book and in the movie that Evolve Godzilla wasn't quite going 100%, and also Godzilla had every counter to Shimo. Couldn't be frozen. He can warm himself out of her freeze, and a few other feats. I know in the book he gets slapped around a little bit more, and they do say that he fears Shimo in one point. Or felt fear, I should say, but evolved. The fact that Inspire maybe I don't power scale Godzilla too much because it's confusing, and the legendary verse specifically is very it's not very well. I don't think the power scaling in legendary really makes the most sense. One, there's basically no world where Kong beats Godzilla. And Kong does. So a little bit at least. And then there's no Kong beating Mechagodzilla is an interesting choice. I'm not against it, but power scaling wise it doesn't really make sense. To me at least. Ain't no way. I think that would be my opinion too, evolved over the Monsterverse caps at Multi-Galaxy. Maybe. If you want to talk about power scaling, I can talk about Godzilla power, or not Godzilla power scaling. I can talk Dragon Ball power scaling all day. I could tell you everything you need to know about Dragon Ball power scale. Dragon Ball me when it comes to power scaling, this close, dude. I could tell you anime power levels, movie power levels, and super power levels, and GT. So you can mix GT and Super. It's hard to do the movies, but you can mix GT and Super. I could tell you exactly, probably with a good educated guess where everyone lies in there, because they don't make sense next to each other. And now with Daima, I haven't quite gotten all Super Shinron caps. I mean, Super Shinron's just omni powerful. The only thing stronger than Super Shinron is our little Zenos and the Grand Priest. Otherwise, everyone else is under Super Shinron. So, But power scaling as it is. I am a little bit on a time crunch, so I have to kind of. We've got about 30 minutes left before I've got to dip. Dragon Ball Universe power levels are insane. Finding all the shows and movie, I just started watching Daima. Yeah, dude, Daima's excellent. I love Daima. Um, it's it's not for everyone. It's not at everyone, and if you don't know anything about Daima, Alex, I will reserve any conversation about it because Daima is special when you don't know what happens. Um, it's a lot of fun if you're going in blind. So hopefully you don't know much. Uh, yeah, well, Ben 10 doesn't beat Goku. People need to realize it's not a Dragon Ball wink saying that Goku can literally beat most of every single continuity show's powerfulest characters. People don't understand how strong Goku is. I'm blind as a bat with Daima. Well, Alex, keep it that way. And I hope you enjoy it, whether you're watching the sub or you're watching the dub, whatever your choice may be. Hopefully you enjoy it. Speaking of Dragon Ball, these are obviously unconfirmed. These come from people that I'm not. This came from X. So take these with a grain of salt. But there was a convention recently that Christopher Sabat, Vegeta's English voice actor, was taking questions, and he was asked about Dragon Ball Super manga question about something that happens later on. And he did the voice for it, and some people are saying that might suggest that something is happening and we might be getting Super within the next year or two. Of course, to get to the point that he was recreating would take probably a year, probably 70 episodes, 80 episodes, because there's probably going to be filler, because there's always filler in anime, even when it doesn't need it. That is it, guys. Hey, sir, how's it going? Go Godzilla and Hell Solo's Goku. I am not gonna power scale that. We're not gonna have power scale discussions here. I am a little bit on a time or any crazy things like that, but Goku can beat basically everything. Although, so in that, I said I wasn't gonna do it, but we'll do it really quick. If Godzilla can beat Superman, and 90% of, well, not 90%, a ton of people say that most Supermans beat Goku, that means Godzilla would beat Goku. So pick that as you will. To which case, I can agree with that. How's everybody enjoying my weekend? We've kind of had a crazy start to it. We did have an unboxing today. We have 2 Ultra Monsters here. We got Gomora and King. But I wanted to talk about something that you guys could probably see, and there'll probably be a legitimate video. Actually, Swiper the Fox beat Goku. Hey guys, God, you guys are silly today. I'm glad I streamed. Thank you guys. You guys are cheering me up. Bye guys. Oh, Tenzil, you leaving? Hopefully you have a good time. Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, I would agree. Goku and hell probably solos Goku. I would probably 80% agree with that. I haven't read that comment yet, but I would agree. I would definitely agree. Because if Godzilla can beat Superman, Godzilla can beat Goku. Even though I don't always agree that Superman can 100% beat Goku, and we got to take our L's where they're deserved, and that's probably it. So, Tenzin, I believe is how I pronounce that. Thank you for stopping in. Hopefully you have a good day, buddy. Thank you. So if you guys could tell, the channel's kind of shifting again. About a year and a half ago, 2023, you guys probably saw that everything from Bandai to Monster Arts was kind of being cut a little bit, if you guys were there, and if not, if you go back and watch if you happen to go and check, old videos, which I don't know if I could recommend half the time. Some of those older videos, even like a year ago, are kind of rough, from 2023, 2024. You guys noticed I was a big Monster Arts Movie Monster Series collector, and then Movie Monster Series started to get written out, and then so did Monster Arts, and then we were really big into X Plus, Safubi, and now, in a crazy turn of events, we're back to Figure Arts, we're back to Monster Arts. So I'll sum it up really quick, because we are a little bit deeper into the stream than I thought we might be, which is fine, because I'm having wonderful conversations with all of you, so that's mainly what these streams are for, is to conversate.
So if you get off track, that is absolutely okay. We got 6 people watching right now. Holy cow! Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Um, I I know I'm a little tired. I'm a little groggy, so it might not seem like it, but really, thank you guys. I really do appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to watch streams and watch the videos. Um, I really appreciate. I wouldn't be where I would be YouTube wise without you guys and your support. So thank you. Um, so I don't want to say we're shifting back because there was always a part of me, and I will talk about this in a video probably more in detail. There was always a part of me that didn't want to leave the Figuarts and Monster Arts, and the Dragon Ball line behind. I didn't want to, but out of somewhat necessity and somewhat, I sold my original SH Figuarts Dragon Ball collection to rebuild my Godzilla collection. Um, it was kind of necessary at the time, and then the first time I sold my Ultraman stuff was just, were you able to obtain the Ultimate Mezco Godzilla? I did not because I didn't purchase it. It didn't really. It wasn't. It's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted. It's very nice. It's large. I don't have the display anymore for the large stuff, but it is super super cool, and I'm excited to see that the 54 is actually coming out pretty soon. I think the giant 54. I think that's supposed to be reaching people's hands here this year finally, and I hope it does because it looks awesome. It's something I'll just have to enjoy from afar, which is kind of one of the things I'm going to be saying in this video. Any metal concerts? Second time this June. So Alex, I have missed out on 4 shows so far this year. My car is in disrepair, which is kind of good that I'm jobless because I it's good and bad because one, if I had a job, a more stable job, I probably could have gotten my car fixed by now, but it is definitely not travel worthy. And South Dakota as a state is obviously going through some things. It has been for the last year and a half. Concerts just aren't coming here unless, you know, once in a blue moon. So like I think it was yesterday or the day before, it was Hollywood Undead was in my old the last place I lived in about an hour north of me. Um, and I didn't go because I don't really care for Hollywood Undead. It's just not for me. I respect what they do, but it's just not for me. I can't remember who the second band was for the headliner. Otherwise, everything else has been like 4 hours away, and I just can't drive. I can't make those drives with my car right now. So I've missed out. I've missed out on Cane Hill. I missed out on Whitechapel. I missed out on. I will be missing out on Upon a Burning Body slash King 810. Right now, I don't think it's possible. So G Fest also kind of is a little bit up in the air for me right now. My health hasn't been the greatest. I've kind of talked about that a little bit, and I haven't at the same time. Mainly because I don't know what's going on, so I don't want to say one thing and then go and finally be able to get a diagnosis in, and then have it be something else. So I'm not going to go too much into detail, but basically I can't walk, stand, do any physical movement for very long. My body kind of just putters out. Some of it is because I haven't done any real moving or working in a while. So some of that is just like my body's physically not able to keep up because I've tried to keep, I do sit-ups, push-ups, I'm trying to eat healthier. One, because it's cheaper now, kind of. Some of it's cheaper, but also to stay at least a little bit physically in line. But the one thing, so Alex, you know me, big Slipknot fan. They're my favorite band. They're only playing one U.S. show this year, and it is the weekend after G Fest. It's at Incarceration Fest. And I thought about it's just not physical. I don't think it's possible because I'm pretty sure the day that they play is sold out for single tickets. I was going to try to find a way to fly out for one night to go see Slipknot as a headliner. Basically, there wasn't a lot of bands that day that I'm personally really interested in, so I was going to mostly skip all the way until Slipknot plays, or at least until close to Slipknot plays. Watch plays and then stay at a hotel and then fly out the next day. Not even go for the full weekend, just for the one day. Because I have a rule. I have to see Slipknot at least once a year. But this is the only U.S. show that's happening, is the Incarceration Fest, which was kind of a surprising announcement because we're supposed to get a new album this year, which tells me I thought they were a little bit farther into it than that. But when I hear a comment like that, that means it's definitely not even recorded yet, or they've even begun recording. So, which means it might not even come out this year. Slipknot's kind of made it a big deal to make sure that they tour right when a new album comes out. And I thought all the Europe dates was a sign that that's when we would be seeing it, because it would be Europe date, Europe date, Europe date, and then Slipknot album followed by a U.S. tour. Now it just kind of seems like they're going to be doing the global touring. And yeah, suppose that's what Incarceration said, is that this will be their only U.S. show, is for that. So I don't really know. I've kind of lost my steam a little bit. I hope Korn comes close and my car's fixed at the time. Ice Nine Kills is supposed to be here, or not here, but near here, 3 or 4 hours. My girlfriend and I are both very big fans of Ice Nine Kills, so we're thinking about maybe going to the Omaha show. I wanted to go to the Minneapolis show for the double day, because both Silver Scream albums are being played. This will probably be the final time, because I haven't seen them since the summer, the first 2019, when the first Silver Scream came out. Before it had came out, I saw them at Warped Tour, the final Warped Tour, and that was right when Thank God It's Friday dropped. So I only saw, I say not worth it this year for Slip. I say just maintain your goals that are most important. And any others, hey, Slipknot is, you know, I'm pretty crazy about like Dragon Ball and Godzilla, mostly Godzilla, but Slipknot, you guys don't get to see that side of me and Slipknot, that is a whole different monster. You could almost make a debate to say that Slipknot might be my favorite thing. I love Slipknot. Slipknot is my jam. I saw him last year for Knotfest for the 25th anniversary show, which got rained out, so I didn't even get to the last 3 songs didn't even get to play. To be fair, it seems like they're playing Scissors as an encore for every show now. They did at least this year for the non-25th anniversary shows, so that's pretty cool. So hopefully the next time I see them, they play Scissors, which is why I'm in a rush to see them, because I don't know when Scissors is going to be taken off the set list. That's the final song from that album that's been played live that I haven't seen. Deluded still hasn't been played live. So besides Deluded, that's it. And then the demos, Snap, Interloper, and I can't remember the other one. I hear you. Slip is crazy, so I need to get their concert soon. One show this year, good grief. Yeah, well, one U.S. show, I should say. So that means they're going into their album mode. It may Super 7 but might have a reaction figure. Yeah, I heard that Super 7 is doing band stuff, and there was a rumor, I don't want to say a leak, but a rumor that they might be doing Slipknot figures, to which case I would be doing it. I've been a bad Slipknot fan because of Godzilla and Ultraman and Dragon Ball. I don't even have all the Funkos yet. I have to go back and collect those, which is going to be hard because I'm pretty sure Jay's Funko Pop, because he hasn't been in the band for a year and a half, is going to be harder to find. But yeah, if Super 7 starts doing Slipknot figures, I will be picking those up. I'll just say it right now, because they're nice. They would look carded. They would hopefully have good images. I would just hang those on the wall. I'd just get my 9 members. I don't think they would do the old members, so we wouldn't see Paul, we wouldn't see Chris, we wouldn't see Jay, we wouldn't see Craig anymore, which kind of hurts, but, you know, Craig left the band willingly, so his choice, which, you know, props to him for doing what's best for him and his life. I'm proud of him. But yeah, so we got we got in there for like 9 minutes. I love it though. They might even be doing Shin. Yeah, I hope they do Shin, because I'll probably buy it. I might not have like a full blown Shin Godzilla collection anymore, but I would get their Shin, just because It's small. It can just go right up on the shelf with the X Pluses and look nice, right up there with the Funko Pop Shin. So I'm gonna circle back around here quick. So basically, we're getting back to what my heart has always enjoyed about collectibles, and that's articulation. I can't tell you guys behind the scenes how kind of admittingly miserable I was, kind of collecting Safubi, being brought down by it, which is my own fault. That is a control issue, a self control issue. So that's not. I'm not throwing shade at Safubi collectors or Safubi the ethos, the sphere of itself. Absolutely not. I love it. I love that people are able to do what they do. They're able to paint figures. They're able to do all these really cool artisan things, and it's really cool, and I really appreciate it. But it just, you know, very expensive, very very expensive, and that's just not within my means anymore, which is weird to say because I've been spending just as much as I would on one Safubi as I've been for multiple SHFs or SHMAs, you know. But I'm also getting more. You know, they have articulation, they have accessories, and that's not to compare the two. That's just how I look at things. And that's always been what I've been about, is articulation. I've been taking photos again for reviews, which has been so much fun. I can't wait for you guys to see the Mecha Gigantron review tomorrow. Holy moly. I've got to edit that today. There is a lot of love in that figure for itself. You can tell in the engineering, and a lot of love from me. I love it. I love it. I'll tell you that right now. I love the SH Figuarts Mecha Gigantron. It is so far the most underrated release this year. It is underappreciated, undervalued. It's amazing. Safubi are insane. I tapped out except for Marusan. Yeah, dude. It's just not for me, and there admittingly is some drama with some, you know, in some areas of it, and I don't agree. I don't know who to trust, which is funny because that happened in another community that I wouldn't say I'm a part of, but something that kind of hit home close for me this morning. It's got me pretty distrusting. I'll just admit it. I'll be honest. It's got me pretty distrusting of people, besides the people that I know. So, but it's a good message for me to remind myself to continue to be better. But yeah, I just things like that, and then it's hard, and it's getting harder. I think is probably one of the main turnoffs with Safubi is it's getting harder. Every drop, every Wonderfest, these exclusives are going faster and faster and faster, and they're more expensive than ever. I know me and a few of my friends were hoping that it was just a Summer Wonderfest thing last year. Most of the Winter Wonderfest stuff that came out this year was like 100% markup, or 50% markup, more than it ever was. So, like, when just looking at what I was going to continue collecting the Sarjushi Shins, which, spoiler alert, I'm not. I can't, even if it's every few months, even if it's plannable, I can't do $500, $600 per figure. Especially for YouTube, I can't, because those videos, Safubi respectfully doesn't do as well as other things. I can post a 10-year-old Figuarts review. Like this Gomora, this review would probably do better than a Safubi video, and when I have to look at those things kind of like that because it's part of the brand, you know. I don't want to make YouTube about business, although I do. If you know me behind doors, I do. This is for fun. This is a hobby, but I do incorporate business things for YouTube because I have to. You know, my friend Adam, Thirsty Thursday Toys, he can tell you. Gamera from Ninden Games is about to ship out, hopefully within the next few days. It probably won't ship now because it's Sunday for Japan. They don't normally ship on weekends. So hopefully Monday, Tuesday, our time, it'll ship. I am hoping it'll get here before the end of next week so I can get it reviewed by the end of the week. Because we do have a review on Wednesday dropping. And then Gamera would be the second review that next week. One, because it's a new figure, I want to get it out. Two, because I'm really excited for it. But three, the sooner the reviews get out, the more people that are interested. Although, I don't know if people are going to be super excited for Gamera until Legion comes out in August, but we'll see. Which isn't a big deal then, because I'm just going to be excited to film it, because I really, really enjoy filming these. If I can be honest, like I said, I professionalized some of this a little bit. Mecha Gigantron 100% was all love and just me wanting to push that review out because I want you guys to see it. I want collectors who are thinking about maybe buying it, looking at the cost, being like, holy, this is really expensive, showing you that it is worth the 180 plus shipping. It is. I'm going to spoil the review right there. It is 100% worth it. I think you guys are going to be shocked at just how damn good it is. Hopefully, I am able to prove that. You guys will see it in the photos. When the photos are really crazy, that's when you know I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with Shimo, but Shimo's honestly hard to photograph and pose. I'll just spoil that. But Mecha Gigantron, you're going to see it. You're going to see it. I might even take more because it won't come out till tomorrow. We'll see. Alex, yeah, Godzilla stuff is expensive, and that's because it's getting popular. That is admittingly some of the reason we are creating the expense ourselves, on top of a ton of literal other things, licensing costs, tariffs, stuff like that. The exclusives, hell no. I am done and flaked on Sofubi makers. They absolutely hate that's going on. The goal to make affordable figures that everyone can hold. Yeah, I know it's getting more expensive for them to make these figures, and because of licensing, they have to. Toho does get a say in how much these figures are. But, and this isn't throwing shade, because I'm not going to tell anyone what the value of their personal hard work and love and stress and pain of painting these figures and molding these figures is. But when Sun Guts figures are some of the largest Sofubi, the Shins, and those are only 10 to 1500 or 15,000 yen, and then the others, I'm not going to name names because, once again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, once again, because I've paid for it. There's Sofubi Shins right up there for now, the Frog Tree and stuff. When the others are like double to double and a half the cost retail, just saying, but I get it. It's getting more expensive, and Sun Guts has been doing it since Shin came out. So, they I think they have a deal where their licensing is cheaper because they've had it for so long. So that's probably some of the reason. I can't wait for the Gamera review. Thank you, Sharktopus. I hope you're excited. I'm excited as well. I've been watching every review that I can find for it just to pump myself up for it. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous about the chest that opens up. I'm excited I might not be able to get it flat and normal looking when I want to, because that is one thing I'm noticing with a lot of the reviews. With this newer one, it seems to really be hard to be put into place and keep it in place, the panels. So that's kind of scary. And then I have seen, for the first time ever, some eye issues with some of the Gameras. Half the ones I've seen have had some misaligned eyes, and the other half have been perfect. So it's a dice roll right now. It's a coin flip. So I'm interested to see. Actually, speaking of, I'm gonna check my emails to see if maybe we got a shipping notification. Nice burp, buddy. Big old burp.
I love you.
You're on the camera. You're live right now, Tater. I say hello. Hi, puppy. Do you want to say hello to the viewers? Come on. Come here. Come here, big guy. Come here. It's okay. Lift up. Here he is, the Tater, the big boy. I love you. He's waiting for his mama to come home. Look at that puppy. Looky here, mama. Good boy. I'm gonna let you down slowly, okay? Good boy. Good boy. He's such a good boy. He is waiting for his mama, which she should be showing up any minute now, which is kind of why I'm on a time crunch. Yeah, I'm a little nervous. I usually can look past eyes, but yeah, that's the big thing with Gamera compared to like Godzilla and Evolved. Gamera has huge eyes, so when they aren't aligned, they're going to be very noticeable. It's going to be a big deal. And the ones that I saw weren't terrible. Like, it was mostly like where they were supposed to be, where they're kind of looking up and out, and then the other one was just kind of like a little bit more down and forward. So it wasn't terrible, and like if you're filming it from the profile shot, it looks cool, but looking at forward on a shelf or just looking at the figure, it is distracting. Yeah, look at him. His mom's probably gonna show up any minute now. He is his puppy treats, his special high treats got here today, but I wasn't able to open them or I didn't open them yet because that's from Mama. So he's gonna be feeling good here in a little bit. He loves getting a little unsober. He's a good boy. He's a very good boy. Look at him. Oh, he's so cute. But yeah, so okay, well, sum up the channel thing. The Scooby snack. Yeah, it's a Scooby snack, all right. It makes him feel like Shaggy. Basically, so the channel is going back to what it was, which is Figuarts, Monster Arts. We will be reviewing Dragon Ball stuff. I talked about it in the last stream. I think it was the last stream or the stream before. Everything that I buy from now on at some point will be reviewed. Grandma's calling BRB if I can. If not, bye. Hey, Sharktopus. Thanks for joining. Have a nice long call with your grandma. I have a nice long call with her. It's always fun. I miss talking to my grandmother, so take as long as you need, and if not, that's a-okay. Thanks for popping in, buddy. You have a good day now. Oh shoot. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so we're going back. So everything that I buy, or mostly everything that I buy, 95% of the things that I buy will be getting videos, will be getting content, and that's how it's going to be. So you guys are going to be, so that way I can upload multiple times a week, multiple reviews, and that way we're not just waiting a whole month for new releases and then I disappear, or it's just live streams. So, because I know the gaming streams aren't necessarily the most popular with most of the viewer base, and that's, once again, I've said it before, that's absolutely okay. Some of you, or a lot of you, are not here for Fortnite streams or even Battleline streams, and there's nothing wrong with that. I got something on my face. There's nothing wrong with that, and that's completely understandable. So I want to make sure I'm still making content for the viewers that are here just for the reviews. So hopefully Dragon Ball reviews, Ultraman reviews, I would say Monster Arts reviews, but there's only one figure in my Monster Arts collection that we haven't reviewed, and that's Kong. So, and once Kong is done, right there, I'm out. I'm out of Monster Arts reviews until we get new figures. So once we get Gamera, once we get Zuko and Mothra, once we get Anguirus and Mechagodzilla 2021 Final Battle version. Oh my goodness. Stuff like that. So, and then eventually, at some point this year, I'll be going back and buying some of the older ones. Like I said earlier, 2019 King Ghidorah, the special color version. I have a few other things. The event exclusive Kong, which I wouldn't be reviewing because I've already reviewed that figure. So that wouldn't get a review. There's not too many of the old releases that I'm trying to rebuy. Not too many of them. I'd rather just wait for newer versions. But you know, I say that, and then if a deal comes up, if Amazon offers me a coupon and stuff, then, well, it is what it is. I'll admit it, I've got no self-control. Obviously. We got 2 more figures today, and then we still have my Ami Ami order coming, and we have Gamera, so we've plenty of things. Plenty of things coming in. Plenty of reviews. I'm going to be busy the next few weeks. I maybe, it's been a long time since we've done this, it might be a triple review week next week, maybe. It depends on how quick the Ami Ami box gets here, which that probably actually won't be getting here until the end of the week as well, so that probably would be next week. We've got some Ultraman, we've got adult Daima Goku, you know, as he is in the first episode. Pretty exciting stuff like that, and that figure looks incredible, so I can't wait to review that. I'm going to be very late on that, but that's a-okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I'm not going to get into like super details because this is kind of drama-y stuff, and this doesn't involve, I'm not going to talk about the situation specifically. If you know, which I don't think a lot of my viewers are necessarily a part of that sphere, but someone who I looked up to and watched content for, and a lot of content for, have bought merch for, that's not even here yet, most of it, turned out once again, waiting for their response and their defense. Obviously, we want to listen to both sides first, but there's been some pretty damning stuff that has come out about who they are as a person and how they've treated their brand, their content creation brand behind the scenes. Honestly, broke my heart a little bit, and it was kind of just a firm reminder of like, with content creation, as much as a lot of people, more than me, stream, make videos, there's people that upload. No. This is another fandom. This nothing to do with Godzilla. Nothing to do with Godzilla. Something you probably wouldn't even care about, but some Google Docs dropped on this person, and they're not as good of a person as they let on, and it hurt. Don't know them personally, just a fan, but it always hurts when the people we take time out of our day to watch their content, we follow them on social media, we watch their live streams, and it turns out they're not the best person behind the screens. They some of the things that they are allegedly, well, I don't want to say allegedly because the proof is when you got Discord screenshots and you've got DM screenshots, it's kind of hard to fight that. But once again, I'll save my final judgment, which we probably won't even mention on here on YouTube. I'll wait for final judgment to be cast after I see their defense. But there's 2 docs that came out when I went to bed, after I went to bed, and when I woke up to and read it. And the last one that I read was pretty gnarly, not good at all. Things that as a person I don't support. So it's weird to say this as a content creator, but it is true. Just remember that content creators are humans. We're not perfect, and some of us make mistakes, and I have made a lot of mistakes, especially lately. I would say the last year and a half I have been pretty mistake ridden. A lot of stuff you guys don't know about, but a lot of things. I have definitely not been one of the best people, especially to the standard that I would like to be. Seeing this about this person that I looked up to for content creation, someone who was inspiring subtly on the channel, it hurts. Especially someone who has backstabbed their friends, professionally and personally hurt people's progress as other people's content creation process, and opportunity, talking behind people's backs, shit like that, cheating, a ton of stuff. There's just too much, like 2 hours worth of Google Doc reading on top of comments and other, personal checks against this person. And once again, I want to wait until they defend themselves more than what they did last night in the I fired my manager, quote unquote, defense, which is not a good defense. I kind of had the thought before I went to bed, but obviously because I'm so groggy, I don't really thought. The thing is, be careful trusting, I guess, to say. I appreciate everyone that follows me, and sometimes I'm not the best at showing it, but as I kind of said earlier, like, I really, honestly, bottom of my heart, appreciate anyone who takes time out of their days to watch videos, to watch shorts, to watch live streams when they're live, to watch the live streams after they're live. Just supporting the channel, or if you're on Instagram and you follow me on Instagram, following Instagram, liking posts. You don't have to. If you want more content, not that I'm really good at content on Instagram, but I do post in the stories a lot, in my stories a lot on Instagram. I don't really post, but I post a lot of my stories. Anyone who takes time out of their day to go and look at that stuff, I really 100% do appreciate it. And it has always been a goal of mine to be as transparent as humanly possible while still respecting private my own private privacy on certain aspects. So like my health, I haven't been fully forward with because, like I said, there's some things I just don't know. I don't have a diagnosis, so I'm not going to sit up here and talk about it too much until I fully know what's going on. And this has been going on since November. But I've always aimed at transparency, and especially within like the last year, I haven't been the best. I've kind of been pretty abrasive, maybe is the right word. Maybe not. I've been moody. I've been aggressive. I haven't been a good example of how I want to be as a person. Treat people the way that you want to be treated, whether it's publicly or behind closed doors. And that's something I've kind of failed with. So that's kind of why YouTube has been such a push in April, because I've been on a self growth and self affirming journey, I guess is maybe the best way to put it. I've been really, really trying to be a better person behind closed doors, because at the end of the day, like, I can sit up here, tell you guys all day and night that I'm being a better person, but it doesn't really change the fact because you guys don't see everything every day, 24/7, and that's where when I'm not doing well, and I'm in the negative side of things, or I'm not being the best person that I want to be. It does bleed into this, and that's why a lot of breaks have happened. That's why I live streamed for the most part for the front half or the front third of this year, was because of this, because I was inner conflicted with myself, extremely depressed, the whole works, but I want to be better, and it's something that I'm glad that I was working on. I didn't need this situation to happen to realize that I was in a bad place, or I've been in a bad place, whether publicly or privately. I already knew this. I had accepted this. I had already stated this. My friends already know about it. Obviously, they know. And it's something that I'm doing. Because the one thing for me, my own goal, is we can always be better. We can always. I don't mean that to say like people aren't trying hard enough. I mean that in the way of like, I can always be nice. I can always be kind. I can always be sympathetic and empathetic. I can be understanding, and there's always a situation where we can always be more. Where obviously we're all not perfect. Sometimes we jump the gun. One area that specifically with YouTube is like people's opinions on figures. Last year and even at the beginning of this year, if I saw someone that didn't like a figure, I for some reason personally would get semi offended. I don't know why. It doesn't matter how other people think about figures, especially like back in the movie monster or SH Monster Arts collecting, looking at like Shimo and Skarking, the whole New Empire line in general. People don't like those figures, and that's absolutely a-okay. If you're a viewer and you don't like those figures, 100% absolutely a-okay. You prefer Haya over Monster Arts, 100% okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Or even the vice versa. You're like me. You like Monster Arts more than Haya. Absolutely a-okay. We're all allowed to have opinions, especially in such like a, I don't want to say niche, but like I said, I don't want to say niche, but like, out of everything in the world, the toy collecting sphere really, like, when it comes to the importance and stuff, especially right now, if you're in the US, well, even globally, things have kind of hit almost a breaking point. We're getting closer and closer. It's not as important, but I know this is, as a hobby and as a content creator personally, like, this is a big part for me, because content creation, especially right now while I'm in and out of job, or like not working as much, content creation is the majority of what I do with my time, which also is not a good thing, because as it is a hobby, it should never I can get pretty recluse when it comes to content. Oop. I was able to tame Shin Godzilla and Evolve for Monster Arts. They rock. Hey, I'm glad you enjoy them. I'm glad. My thing is with collecting and how I want to move forward and how I want to hold myself to a standard is when someone says that they're thinking about buying something, I want to recommend something that's really good. Which is why if you guys have watched the last few reviews, I think King of Mons breaks this, but you have to remember King of Mons is like a week and a half, 2 weeks old now. I didn't know you were gonna go so deep. Enjoy the journey that you're on. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. And like I said, this is the transparency thing. When we need to get deep, we need to talk about deep things, and I know that does make some people uncomfortable, and that's 100% okay. I've tried. I want to make my channel a safe place, an understanding place. I don't want anyone to feel like they can't be here, even if they have a different opinion of toys or power scaling, as earlier. We can agree to disagree on things. And that's one thing my tone really sometimes doesn't read out the best. And maybe even earlier during the stream when we were talking about power levels, my tone didn't come out the best as maybe know-it-all or something like that. And I do apologize. It is something I am constantly trying to... Oh, Mama's home. I gotta close the door really quick. It is something I personally... Oh god, my toes were on screen. Ew, gross. Ew, 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 ew. It's something that I want to do the best. I want to hold myself to a better standard. And my tone is something that really, unconsciously to me, can get pretty aggressive. And that's something I want to apologize to everyone here for, in case you've ever been. I never want to come off, I'll say it like that, because I can't blame anyone for taking something the wrong way. It is my choice and my deal to be the best that I can and make sure that my opinion and attitude and tone are appropriate, of course. I don't want anyone to think that they can't come in and have a comment or a different opinion. Which, one of the best examples of me not dealing with things the best, just go back and look at the Haya review and the 2024 regular Godzilla review. You look at the comment sections, you look at some of my replies in there, and some of them have been deleted because they've just discoursed into chaos at no one else's blame. Like, it's equally everyone else's fault as it is mine individually. Discourse, aggression, arguing, it's just not necessary. And same thing with drama. Like, I know I brought up some drama. I'm mainly bringing that up because I'm hurt as a fan of a content creator that I thought was a better person than it really, at least until they defend themselves, it really doesn't look like they are as good of a person as they let on. And that hurts as a fan. I feel lied to. And that's something I want to make sure that I never do to you guys as my viewers, as, fellow collectors, as fellow hobby enjoyers, Godzilla, Dragon Ball, and otherwise. I don't want to say fans because it's not what this is about. I'm not here to put myself on a pedestal. I appreciate growth. I will celebrate growth, and the goal will always to be to grow the channel. But that's just to help unite things, to help unite this community, which, admittingly, I think the Godzilla community right now it's cracked. I don't think it's broken, but there's definitely some things that I want to bring up, and I just haven't. I'm not really good at talking necessarily about these things. Like I said, my tone can be off. I'm not good at writing scripts. It's why I don't script my videos, but also because of that, I'm also not the best at talking in the moment either. I normally have to do the thing where you go and sit in the shower for 20-30 minutes and really think about what I'm saying and then go into it. But a lot of conversations, a lot of debates, a lot of opinion sharing, just you can't do that, you can't do that. And that's you can't go back and do that. And that's one of the things that I want to make sure that I'm doing as a content creator is I want to help unite this community. or continue uniting it, because a lot of other people are doing it more publicly than I am, and it's something I want to get more involved in, to make sure people know that I want everyone to feel accepted. I want everyone to have different opinions. If you don't like Monster Arts, you're only an X Plus collector, that's wonderful. I understand it. I collected X Pluses. You know, if you're only a Monster Arts collector, or only a Haya, or only a Bandai, or only a Playmates, or only a Super 7, there's nothing wrong with that, and that's absolutely okay. Collect what you want to collect. Collect by your means. You know, be careful financially. Don't do what I'm doing lately. And I know I kind of say that as a joke, but seriously, don't do what I'm doing. It's the same thing that gacha collectors, when playing like Dokkan or Nikkei or Legends, will say, don't spend money on the game. And then if you do it only when it's like the big anniversary and stuff. And it's the same thing with collecting. Yeah, X Plus is amazing. I love their work. I'm still following everyone. I'm still following the Safubi creators. I'm still following the X Plus. I'm still following Bandai. You know, I still make news on it. I still make announcement stuff on it, because it's still a part of it. I'm just gonna try to be less opinionated on those things, because if I'm not gonna buy it, me having an opinion on it really doesn't matter too much. I will try to answer people's questions. Like, we do have to do a news stream here within the next few days, because I do have to talk about the new 2.0 Destroy and Burning Godzilla from Movie Monster series. I do have to, because they're having criticism is okay, but making sure I don't overstep my boundaries is important. And those two figures, a lot of collectors, whether they're buying Movie Monster series or not, have some opinions, and I definitely have some critiques. If I could give Bandai, I would. Not that they really care, and that's fine. We'll see how the sales go. Normally, that's how they do it, is sales. But I guess what I want to bring up is, I'm trying to stay out of drama as much as I can. At least like unconfirmed drama. The things I want to push is positive messaging on the channel. More and more and more. I want to create a place that collectors can come, whether they enjoy the things I'm reviewing or talking about or not. Yeah, we do, Eric. We do. We gotta try. I'm with saying that, and this is for everyone. Besides, like, I have maybe one collab in the works. I'm holding off on collabs until I go on this self growth journey and I become a little bit better, because I know collab wise I haven't been the best either, and that's just been in the past. There's a lot of things where it was supposed to be a collab with me and a collab with other people, and then ended up not being able to fill out the other half on the second half of it. And that's honestly, that there's no excuse for that, and I want to make sure when I'm collabing, it's both ways, so both parties get something out of it. Normally it's a 1-for-1. It's kind of like what music people do when they do features. Normally it's, you pay the artist, and then they also, like, you can either pay the artist to be on your track, or a lot of companies will do, like, okay, you do a track for me or a music video, then later down the line, then you'll do a music track, a feature, or a music video for me, or be in it, and that's something I want to make sure. And with my schedule kind of being a little bubbly right now, I want to say I do, Eric, and I definitely, in the future, I do, and this goes for a lot of people. I just, right now, I'm not in the sense to where I want to make sure that I can do it wholeheartedly and make sure that chaos doesn't ensue, understandable or not. And in the past, there's been collabs that I've done that have kind of didn't fully work out the way that I wanted to, on my fault. On my fault, not on anyone else's. I wanted to do more stuff with Lewis, and he came on to the stream. He was wonderful to talk with and was very understandable, very wonderful to work with when it came to the movie reviews last year when we talked about 98. The 98 live streams just kind of collapsed because I didn't have a good infrastructure for those. And because of that, it ended up hurting future collab possibilities with Lewis. That's my own fault. And to Lewis, I gotta say it privately as well. I gotta apologize. Because he has always been, he has supported the channel as well. He's always been a good, kind friend, and collector in the community to talk to. Um, and with Thirsty Thursday Toys, there's plenty of things that we've planned out that most of the time, due to me not following up on my end, haven't been able to do. Right now we're working on a panel for G-Fest. And I'm working on my half, but because I might not be able to go to G-Fest because of my health, it puts him in a bad position, which I have to. We've already talked about, if I can't go, how I can still be a part and still do my part, because it's a 2-part stream or a panel. It's his and mine, mostly his idea, but we've been talking about this for 3 years now. This is the 3rd year. We've attempted twice, wasn't able to go to G-Fest last year. So I'm working on my side of things. I have to do basically 2 different sides. I have to do a script to be able to do it if I'm there. Otherwise, I have to do like a video style, a pre-recorded thing for him to be able to play there at G-Fest, or maybe a live stream of some sort. We have to plan. We're looking at the possibilities. Hey, nice, cool, Sharktopus. I hope you had a good conversation with your grandma. Thanks, welcome coming back. Things like that, where I want to make sure that I can do it. I want to make sure I can hold up my end of the bargain. And with that collab, that's really the only collab. We were kind of talking about something last night or this morning. And it's kind of one of those things where it's just an idea. We don't know if we're going to do it. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, I owe Adam a lot. I owe Adam a ton of collabs. Not business wise, but personally wise as a friend, because he has been on a ton of streams over the last year and a half that I've been streaming. Almost 2 years, actually 2 years at this point, because at this point we had already unboxed the Gigantic Blue 2019, and that was the first collab stream that him and I did on the channel. Ooh, I gotta take a drink. I haven't taken a drink for an hour. I've been talking. Ooh, excuse me for a second. Ooh, okay. And that was one of those streams where one of those things where, although my end wasn't able to be kept up because of technical issues, it's still one of those things that I think about a lot and I feel bad about. And, I'm not owed him anything. Hi. Almost done, sweetie. It's about being a good person, and I want to make sure that I'm able to be the best that I can. So I'm willing to air out my own dirty laundry a little bit, because that's what being honest and transparent is about on the channel. And just like everyone else, I'm human. I've made mistakes, and I'm trying to rectify and be better, I guess is what the whole point of this was supposed to be. This section was I want to be better. For me personally, for my family, my dog, my girlfriend, my partner, and for my friends, for YouTube, because I notice when I'm doing better, when I'm being the best person that I can be and focusing on growth, the content shines. My best content is when I am at my peak and when I'm doing good. And I would say even the last, looking at 2024 and the last half of that year, the last 6 months, kind of rough. And you can kind of slowly see my gradual decline throughout 2024 on just the way that I made content, the way I held myself, stuff like that. I think if you look at the details, you can really see it. And that's just not what I want to be. So to everyone, I do apologize. I want to be the best that I can be, not to be the best YouTuber, not to be, your number one go-to, but to be, if, when you guys take time out of your day to watch a live stream, watch a review, I want to be the best person I can be, so I'm giving you guys the best that I can. And that's the focus for the rest of the year. This self-growth, it's a forever journey. Self-growth is a 100% all the time thing, and I hope it shines through. I think, speaking of that, and speaking of the review again, the Mecha Gigantron review, I think you guys are going to see it, because I'm firing at all cylinders during that review. It's going to be another long one. I think at this point I've kind of accepted that, if you guys remember last year, the goal was to keep reviews, very short for Safubi and like, things with not a lot of engineering and articulation and accessories, 8 to 9 minutes max. And then my goal was always to make like Figuarts Monster Arts reviews like 12 minutes, but there's a lot to talk about on these. Whether it's just looking at the figure itself, the detail and the sculpt and the paint, and then talking about what is there and then my opinion of it. It's very important. So I am going to, as much as I myself am not the greatest fan of longer content, and this isn't a shot at anyone, because I understand I used to be that way, where if I saw like a 30-minute review on a figure, whether it's good or bad, I was all for it. I just can't do that now. Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, technically most of us are. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, okay, if you're religious, saying you're a sinner isn't a good thing. I'm personally not religious at all. So me saying a sinner is more just like a heavy metal thing. It's kind of an edgy thing. But I don't necessarily say that is. And then into some people, yeah, that's a discussion I won't get into. Mostly just because that's one of those, that's a hard discussion to have, but maybe one day. But I agree. I'm also a sinner. If I was religious, I'd be in a lot of trouble. Yeah. And well, no, we're not going to get into that, because that's opinion, that's religion. That's one topic that most of the time I don't want to touch, because that is a very touchy subject, especially currently right now in the climate. But let me get back. Let me get back. That's not to me to swipe away those comments. Obviously, I'm not trying to do that. It's just, I know I am going to get in trouble if I talk about it, because I'm yeah. Okay. What the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, the Mecha Gigantron review. I am firing off at all cylinders, and it's time for me to accept that for me to get, and this was a comment I was going to make earlier. For me to get my opinion, my personal opinion of a figure, while also doing the objective criticism or compliments or whatever you want, what I've kind of tried to do with Shimo and Scar King, where I'm trying to be as honest as I can, which I basically, not to try to spoil those reviews, but I said both prices at MSRP, or both pieces at MSRP, are not worth it. Like, I admit it, unless you're like a super fan of each character, or you're a completist of Monster Arts Shimo and Monster Arts Scar King probably aren't worth it. It probably is smarter just to buy the Haya for Shimo, and to wait for Haya to eventually make Scar King, which has got to be any day now, right? I am not a fan of Haya. I have my personal gripes, and I mean that's basically it. But if Haya is gonna make a better product at a better price point, I will probably almost always recommend the Haya anyways. The 91 is finally coming out for Haya. I know I'm gonna get asked, should I get the Haya or the Monster Arts? Well, the Monster Arts is kind of out of stock everywhere, so you have to pay aftermarket price. And I love the 91 Monster Arts, but until we see what tariff pricing looks like on these Hayas, it is safer to assume that the Hayas are probably $60 to $70 shipped. And seeing as that 91 might go for $100 plus, well, even at MSRP it's $90. Like, if it's 90 and 70, that's a little bit more debatable if you could go on Amazon and buy it, but I don't think you can. It might still be on there, I guess. I don't really know. When it's a price difference of like 130, 140 to 60, it's harder to do. It's all at the end of the day personal preference, but I got to be honest too, especially in a market where money is going to be even more valuable. Saving dollars is the most important thing to do, right now. But like, God, now where am I going with that? God damn. So I'm trying. That's what it is. So the reviews are going to be longer, especially with figures that have a lot going on. Mecha Gigantron has a literal ton of things going on with it. Ton of things to talk about on it. Articulation wise, some things you guys are going to be surprised about. Trust me. just the accessories, everything that goes with it. And then if a figure has accessories for another character like Scar King or even Gigantron, where they have accessories for Kong and Ultraman Rising, that takes time because I have to talk about that, you know. So I've accepted that reviews are just going to be longer, and hopefully that doesn't turn too many of you away. Once again, if you can't watch a 17-minute video all in one stretch, that's understandable and absolutely a-okay. It's okay to watch what you can and then click off and then come back and watch it. You know, it is absolutely okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And then if you're someone who you kind of just want the nitty gritty of it and you want to skip to the end, once again, a-okay. I'm not going to sit here and do the YouTube business thing to be like, try to watch as much of the video as you can. I only ask that when a lot of heart and soul goes into it, where it's a figure that I feel like is underrepresentation. Especially right now, Mecha Gigantron, one review as far as I know right now. So I'm going to ask you guys to watch as much of it as you can, or even if you're not a big Ultraman fan, to check it out, because it is one of the best engineered figures ever. It's impressive. I'm hyping it up. I am. I'll admit it. I'm hyping up the Gigantron review. Hi are a very good price, and Monster Arts prices are very good as well. I would mostly agree. I would say Monster Arts is kind of, their standard figures are pretty good. The P Bandai web shop exclusives like Anguirus being 140 is kind of, if you didn't import it, is a little questionable. But like, I get it. The Godzilla license is only getting more expensive. That's just a fact. To get the special code on my sponsorship. Well, see, if I had a sponsorship and a code, I'd be doing that right away, as long as the agreement allows for it, the contractual agreement. I always want to put that first, because if in a perfect world, if I could get a sponsorship with someone where it's a discount code, I would want you guys to see that right away. Even if Haya right now is doing a sponsorship program, they have it open, commissions are open. I have debated doing it because what they're advertising their self. Of course, I don't know the actual details, and that would be lined in with an NDA and a contract. Is they would send product to you, and I'm not a Haya collector, so in one way for them it would be bad, because if I really don't like the figure, then if it doesn't mesh well, that does affect the review personally, opinion on the opinion side of it. But at the same time, if something comes out and I really like it, boom, it's a win-win for me and them, because then they get a review that's saying, oh, this figure's really good, and you could get a discount code for it. But everyone has a discount code for Haya at this point, and they're all the same, which is good, but parts of me don't want to make you pick and choose who you support, whether you support God's Box, or you support Lewis Duran, or you support I think Steven had one for a while. I don't know if he still does. I think he's basically mostly Big Bad Toy Store still now, but I think he might do some things with Kowalski a little bit, and and the list goes on and on. There's a ton of people who have Kowalski discounts, and that's a good thing. That's a very, very good thing, and that's one thing I will 100% always criticize Bandai and Tamashii Nations for, because even their Japanese collector fan base and their content creators, they really don't do collaborations and supports. It is very rare that they will bring up a content creator on a live stream. And it's kind of my fault for not looking at the Japanese side of it. Like, I'm really bad at watching like the live streams where they show off the figure for the first time. I watched the Legion one, and I watch the Monster Arts and Dragon Ball ones when they do them, but like, they do a lot of anime. They've been doing it for Naruto. They did it for the Hunter x Hunter line, and they do bring in collabs every now and then, or people from the shows. The last one that I can remember where they brought in a content creator that wasn't necessarily like attached to the product that they were showing was the Tamashii Nations event, where they brought out the I can't remember his name, the Baki cosplayer, the guy that the Beast, is that the character? I don't know Baki. His dad. I know the character as his dad, the cosplayer for him that's really big on TikTok and Instagram. They brought him on stage for I think all 3 days, and that was really cool to see. And I wish Tamashii would do that more. I know they would never hit someone like me. I'm way too small, but the opportunity in the future would be cool, and they just don't do that too often. And I think that's something as a company, they kind of that's an and I don't know why they won't. So I won't say it's like an ego thing or like they're like, well, of course people are just going to buy our product anyways, because it might not be that. There might be some logistic things. But I think that's one thing I would recommend to Tamashi. If they were to ever hear a clip from me, is do collabs. You might not be able to do discount codes, but like sending product early, even if I have to pay, I would love to do a contract thing with them where it's like I still have to pay for the product in full, but I just get it early. I would love that. Personally, I would love, love, love that. But they just don't do that. They have businesses that do that, like Big Bad Toy Store does it, but those are the US releases. So they're still behind on the JP release timeline. It's closer, it's in the middle, but you guys kind of know me. I want to get the reviews out for the newer stuff as fast as I can. Because if I can help someone decide on a purchase or against a purchase, I've done my job. Or in Shimo's case, showing a lot of negative reviews out there with good positive talking points, but most people seem to take away the negative first. You know, so it's why that review, like, even though there are issues with that figure, I still try to look at the bright side, kind of, while still being like, yeah, this is not a $240 figure, you know. Oh, my voice is running out of energy. Oh, and I'm losing viewers, and that's okay. I've been kind of rambling for the last like 30 minutes. That's absolutely okay. But I guess let me sum off the next few points because I didn't finish. I'm going on a self growth journey, and I'm doing my best. I'm not necessarily always making strides and making steps, and that's absolutely okay. Everyone who's ever done it, which basically we all are at all the time, you know, always on some sort of personal, journey where we all have our own problems, whether we make them public or not, and that's a-okay. It's okay to keep things private too, and that's 100% understandable. I want to make sure that I'm not coming off as like I'm trying to be better. It's not about that. I want to bring positivity to this community, and I feel like the last few years, or the last year, I would say 2024 and parts of 2023, because myself personally, I've been burdened with some understandable grievances and also some just lack of personal control and, holding up myself to my own standards that I would like. I've kind of failed in a lot of ways, and I want to do better for the community, for you guys as people, because I don't want to betray people the way I felt betrayed this morning, finding out that one of my favorite content creators was not the person that they let on to be. I don't want to ever do that to you guys. I don't. And so I've got to, not only do I have to try to be better for the future, but I also have to apologize and try to show, to accept that I haven't been the best, and that's the best thing. And I recommend, everyone, it's good to lead with empathy. It's good to lead with empathy and sympathy and a kind heart. It's something I'll recommend everyone to do. And it's hard at times. It's very, very hard at times. I understand that as well. And it's something I want to focus so I can bring you guys the best content that I can. And once again, Mecha Gigantron review, I'm at all cylinders. I haven't even edited it yet. Monster Arts has all new retooling. They still give you a good quality box. Dude, box arts on Monster Arts are... you guys can't see... Well, you guys kind of can. Look at that. You see those Monster Arts boxes down there? I have all my Monster Arts boxes on display right now. All of them are on my shelves because I don't have as many Sofubi, which means I have open spots, and because I don't have enough of these shelves yet to move them over to create a safe space to where my dog and girlfriend and I can still be in here and, bumping things. I've got all my boxes on display because I love the Monster Arts boxes. New ones, old ones, all of them. I love them. I love them. I completely agree. And then, yeah, they get retooling. Their engineering is different, although, excuse me, at times it's not the most optimal. There's a lot more that goes into it. It's a lot harder to assemble the Monster Arts figures. Like, I will always defend the Monster Arts -1 and the price point because you look at how many pieces are on that figure. Like, how many individual pieces? Almost every dorsal plate on the back is its own individual piece that has to be assembled on there with detail. It's hard. Okay, it is hard to do that for an assembly line to do those figures. It's easier to pump out the 72, which doesn't have too much complex design. It does have new engineering, but not as much as -1. So it's those types of things. Shimo has a lot going on. She's got a unique paint job that they normally don't do for figures. Event exclusives have the type of paint job that she has, and those are normally more than their retail variants. Like Jiren and Super Saiyan Trunks both were like $10 to $20 more than their original retail price. A little bit because of inflation, but also because like that paint counts for something. That's why every King Ghidorah figure ever released is almost always more expensive than anything else is coming out because of the paint. The gold paint on it is as a cost. It's why that was one of the initial reasons the very first King Ghidorah Monster Arts was more money. And it was a point that they made. It's like, it's because it's gold paint. Gold paint is more expensive to do. And now, like, we're here in the future, and now that retail, Mecha King Ghidorah was almost, not quite, but almost double the amount of the price of the original 2019 Ghidorah, and even the original Mecha King Ghidorah. It's about $80-$90 more, I think, if I remember correctly. I think it was $140 when it came out, the first version, and then this one was $240 USD. So, it's amazing that we can get anything from Monster Arts or places like X Plus. Yeah, it's crazy. It's one of the things that, like, sometimes I don't understand why people want to argue which collectibles are better or this or that, because we have so many options now that, like, 95% of collectors in the Godzilla sphere, there is something for you, and there's almost every single price point there is something. Almost everything. There's Playmates, Super 7, these new mini I can't remember what they're called. Well, Bandai's got a line of it, and Super 7 has a line, the articulated figures. I'm not personally too crazy about them, but like the fact that there's articulated Godzilla figures at Walmart from two different companies, mind you, or one's at Walmart, one's at Target, and they're both like only $20-$30, like, that are articulated. They're pretty good size. They've got accessories. Like, that's a plus. But at the same point, I feel like, those figures don't devalue Haya. Those are half the price of a Haya. That doesn't make Haya figures bad because they're $60. Just like Haya being $60 doesn't devalue Monster Arts at $100. I feel like it's just, it's another option. And that's one of the things, like, when I say the community's cracked, I feel like that's one of the things that this community for the toy side of it really needs to. It's good to have criticisms to be like, well, looking at one company, how are they able to do it so cheap and the other one isn't? But at the same time, like, to say that Haya and Monster Arts and these articulated, like, Super 7 figures and the Bandai, the Dragon Star lines of Godzilla, to compare them all is just not correct. Like, even, it's something I've talked about privately, and I have talked about a few times on stream. The more that I've grown, and not held kind of a bitterness, admittingly a childish bitterness to Haya, because, or Haya products, I should say, because the fans can sometimes be a little overbearing, sometimes, but I mean, Monster Arts fans can do the same as well. I've seen toxicity to each other and within their own respective little mini factions to each other. It doesn't make sense because they're different things. Monster Arts has more stylation, it has more articulation, there's more engineering in them. Whether that engineering is actually good or not, is debatable. But, like, even just looking at the regular 2024 Godzilla, The one you can kind of see his dorsal plates there behind Kong. Like comparing that to the Haya just doesn't make sense. The Haya is in a different scale. It's 7-inch scale. It's not 1/12. It's like 1/11th or 1/10th, whatever 7-inch scale is. And then on top of that, one's CGI accurate and the other is stylized because it's sculpted by, I believe the Godzilla is Yuji Sakai. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I remember the legendary Godzillas have all been Yuji Sakai. And we all know he does stylization. He does that with his X Plus products, you know, his model kit collection. And that's okay. If you're not into that, that's 100% okay. But it, you know, they're different scratches to different itches, I feel like. And that's why I kind of don't want to compare the two anymore. It's why I've tried to pull back from it. You know, because I don't want to compare the two. They do have different they have different goals in mind, and there's nothing wrong with either one of those goals. You know, we can still be critical. Like that doesn't mean obviously we have to just 100% compliment Monster Arts, because Monster Arts does do some crazy shit. I'll be honest. Tamashii does make some really crazy some crazy choices at times. You know, whether or not you support it, Legion being $500 import is crazy. There's no way around that. Whether you support it or not, it's crazy. But at the same time, the more we see it, and they are advertising the hell out of Legion, the more, to me, like, that price point makes sense. It's going to not make sense to most people. Like, it's almost the price of an X Plus Gigantic. Like, I get it. Like, it's expensive, you know. It's best to ignore the 9-year-olds. Hey, some of them are not 9-year-olds. And I can admit as well, I've been the toxic Monster Arts fan in the comic sections a few times as well. I have been in the past, and I hate to admit that. But at the same time, once again, it's ownership of my own, actions and the consequences of that. And that's, I hate it took me so long to, really slap myself in the face for it. But at the same time, that's the Safubi figures on the shelf. I thought there was something like hanging back here that was weird. It has to be assembled and hand painted by hand. Some of them are hand painted by hand, yeah. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But yeah, they are hand painted. Where, in my experience, I don't see like and mind you, I've only owned the 2024 Re-Evolved Godzilla, which there wasn't a lot of paint. And honestly, if I got a Monster Arts that was painted the same way that Haya was, I would not be impressed. That is what it is. But that's just my personal experience with that one personal figure. I saw other ones had better paint QC than that one. That one just seemed to be a one in a couple thousand for Haya, But oh god, now where am I going? I've lost myself again. Fact is, I'm not trying to make this big personal statement saying I'm trying to be better because I want to bring the best to you guys and for myself and for everyone around me, whether it's publicly or privately. I want to be the best that I can. And that is through admitting mistakes. And that's, when it is necessary and when it's time for things that are allowed to be public, I will. And if there's things that can be dealt with privately, by all parties, if that's what they prefer, that's what I would rather do as well. Can't say I was ever toxic. I've engaged with a few people role-playing me to argue, hey, there's always, I'm not saying like, you argue once, or like I've argued it quite a few times and that makes me a bad person or makes anyone a bad person. It's just like, for me personally, it's like, at a lot of those times I knew I was kind of falling for that trap a little bit as well. I was the fish on the reel, and I was kind of giving them reel, or I was letting them pull me in, and that's my own fault, But we all make mistakes too, and that's the other thing is like when it's something understandable, when it's something as little as arguing on the internet, especially if it's pretty kosher still, it's not really a big deal. It's just something I personally don't want to do. It's not something I would like to do. As much, because I was doing it a lot, I was doing it a lot, and I I've gotten into beef with some smaller content creators and just, viewers, and I've gotten into it with a few larger people, and there was better ways to do it as well. Although, you know, it seemed to be one-sided because I didn't want to be debated on a larger scale, which is fine as well. People don't have to. Haya has access to government-funded money. That's why they would give you a better price. I didn't know that. Interesting. Well, to be fair, Hayas are about to go up because of tariffs, but we'll see how much they eat on cost. I'm going to guess it's going to start with the 91 releases and Evolved. Personally, I do hope that their prices don't have to go up too much. Hopefully they're able to find a way to balance it out for collectors. Because, like I said, they are the budget-friendly, hyper-articulated figures. For the collectors who can't afford Monster Arts, Haya is your next go-to, and I don't want to see them be the same price as Monster Arts, because that's not what Haya, is necessarily supposed to be, especially when it's for a tariff. It's not even going into it's not going back to Haya to help pay off the licensings, to pay for new engineering, to pay for characters. It's just going to the US government, which is a waste, as of right now at least. So in my opinion, but I want to be better, publicly and privately, together. And I wanted to say that on stream, because it's important as a content creator, as someone who's aiming for the things that I'm trying to aim for, which is just to be a good rock in the community, and to be someone who I want to have a good, healthy sphere for everyone to have a different opinion here in the comments, whether it's live streams or videos or whatever of my content or things that I may be involved with. I want people to be able to say what they want to say, and as long as we're all nice and kosher and friendly with each other and understanding, and we all understand that opinions can be different, and that's a-okay with toys. We can just go on our merry day, have a fun conversation or debate, and then we can continue having fun. And that's the main thing, is just having fun. A lot of this is a way to an escape from a lot of what's going on in our lives, personally and privately. I use YouTube as an escape. Content creation is like when I'm feeling really stressed, or I'm down in the dumps. Content creation really helps. Live streams really help. Although you guys have seen it a few times where I've gone on stream when I probably shouldn't have, and not chaos, but you kind of got to see that not really good side. I have some Fortnite streams where I only stream for an hour and I'm just mad the whole time, and that's not fun. I know it's fun for like clips and stuff, but the way that I was mad, like I think it was the last Fortnite stream or the second to last Fortnite stream, or like a few Fortnite streams ago, I came in, I was in bad mood from start to finish, and I just basically I ended the stream like in 45 minutes. I think I have it, hopefully I have it privated. I was just complaining the whole time. That's not fun. That's not fun to watch for anyone. That's not fun for me to make. I would rather use my energy, to make good, positive vibes, good, positive videos, or if I have to critique something in a understanding light, or in a cohesive way, at least. Which this stream kind of hasn't been, because I've been all over the place. But I want to be better. I want to be better for me, for the people I know, and for you guys, and just for the community in general. I would never be able to stream games. It's I've been doing it for a few months now, since the start of the year. It is a little bit harder than people let on. It's hard to keep up with chat, like with how much you guys have been messaging me, or been making comments, which is great. I've been loving conversation and being able to talk with everyone tonight or today. It's hard to do that when I'm like playing Fortnite or Battleline, where I have to look at my phone, I have to look down, or if I'm watching Fortnite, I have to be looking at this screen, and I can't, at least right now, because I only have a one screen setup. I will eventually at some point get 2 monitors, so I can always have you guys visible when I'm Fortnite streaming, so that way I can hopefully fix that issue a little bit in the future. Once again, this is something that won't happen until way down the line, because even using credit cards and stuff to get figures, buying a whole nother monitor that's a completely different type of cost. and just not something I can I can really be like, yeah, this is, it is for the channel. It is to improve the quality of the channel and the quality of my being able to play a game, and also make sure that I'm commenting and talking with you guys. But it's just an expense that I can't really justify right now. It's kind of like the curtains, which you guys can tell that I finally got curtains, so we're not bled out during the day. You know, these were $10, and it took up until now to be able to be like, okay, now, you know, now I can do this. You know, I can justify this purchase, which is crazy. It was $10, but the curtains were also out for like a month. My Walmart just wasn't getting the curtains that I needed, and even still, I might go through and cut these ones because they are really long. They're just bunched up right now, but I want I just want to thank, once again, I want to thank everyone. And I know sometimes overthinking isn't as the thing, but I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. We have to stop the voice in your head and let it go. Yeah. That's the thing, the negativity bug that sits in our head, you know. And we all have it. Everyone has it. It is something we all fight every day. Some of us more publicly than not. You know, it is something that it's difficult, and that's one of the really important parts about leading with empathy and sympathy, and understanding and kindness. We never know what someone else is going through. Whether it's a little issue about disagreeing with toys, or it's, you know, a political conversation outside, or a multitude of reasons, it's good to lead with empathy and some love. So, and that's what I want to make sure that I'm doing. With that being said, we're gonna reel that in a little bit. I feel like I've been talking real for the last 40 minutes. Oh my goodness, I apologize. I am very happy where the channel is right now. Basically, April is the first month this year that I have really full cylinders, have been on top of content, you know, with a few little hiccups here and there. You know, I was sick there in the middle of the month, you know. I was sick. I wasn't doing well mentally, so, you know, took a little bit of break. Wasn't feeling good. There we go. We got the voice. I gotta wrap this up. The girlfriend's home. I want to make sure that I talk to her, hang out with her, see how her day was. You know, one of those lines where I'm not making sure that I'm sitting in my office too much. I'm very, very happy with where the channel's at, and I have to admit, you guys have been helping. You guys, yes, I am making the content. I'm posting the content, which algorithm wise allows it to grow. But if you guys weren't supporting the content, whether it's live streams, whether it's unboxing streams, whether it's reviews, even the Dokkan stuff has been doing pretty okay. It's not quite, which admittingly I have to find a better way to edit my Dokkan stuff. I think that's most of the reason why those aren't doing too well, is because my editing is a little it's not good. I need to go to the workshop and work on my Dokkan. You know, if I'm gonna post a video like summons, I need to workshop how I want to edit those, because it's very, very basic. You know, my reviews feel like completely different videos compared to my Dokkan my Dokkan summon videos. So, which we'll be talking about Dokkan in a few days, in 2 days. What a disappointment Golden Week, by the way. Really excited about the characters, but Goku just sucks. Unless he's broken in the data right now, Goku sucks. The new Goku. Hit looks incredible. I'm very excited for Hit, but Goku looks like trash. And I mean that every step of the word. It might be, I don't have a lot of stones. I might summon for Hit. I might not even summon for Goku, because I don't have enough stones to summon on both. And I probably won't even get Hit with the 3 summons I have. Yeah, that Goku's bad. He is not good. I have no idea what they were thinking. But that's a different conversation. We'll talk about that once the summons go live, because I'm still going to live stream. It'll probably be a joint stream. It'll probably be another Dokkan stream and Battle Line stream, because I am behind on Battle Line. So, and once again, I only made one and a half Battle Line streams this season, which is less than what I wanted to do. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. You know, oh shit, what was I saying? I might have to go back and watch it. What the hell? What was I talking about before Dokkan? Um, oh, I got it. I'm very happy where the channel's at right now. Hey Tails, how's it going? Um, the channel has been doing really good thanks to you guys, and that at the end of the day, that it can only do so good with me making content, but you guys watching videos, liking videos, and yes, even though I'm not gonna always ask you guys to watch every video or watch whole videos, I will when it's something special. Like I will ask if you guys when the Mecha Gigantron review drops tomorrow. I hope you guys watch it. Even if it's not the most like interesting figure to you guys, it is 100% going to be in my top 10 at the end of the year, and it might be given the title of the most underrated and slept on figure of the year. It is ridiculous, just kind of how much that figure isn't getting love right now, and I'm very happy with it. So I will ask you guys to watch that one, but choose what content you want to watch. Once we start getting the Dragon Ball reviews out and the Ultraman reviews, if those stuff don't interest you, don't ever feel bad about not watching them. You know, if you're only here for Monster Arts, that's a-okay. If you're only here for Dragon Ball, I know I do have some subscribers from way back in the day that are only here for Dragon Ball that have stuck around. You know, incredible. Thank you guys. I'm gonna be paying it forward here soon. And there might be some people that are coming here only for Ultraman stuff. It's completely possible as well. Once again, watch the content you want to watch from me. Don't ever feel like you have to watch others. I will on occasion ask you guys, but at the end of the day, the support that you guys give and the positivity that you guys give, or even the necessary criticisms at times as well, is very welcomed. Criticism is needed because I want to continue growing. And over this month alone, I feel like a lot of progress, and I'm very happy. We finally, subscriber count isn't necessarily the most important, but like we finally got over the hump this year. And what is that hair? It is hair that needs to be cut. It's and balding. I'm balding here in the front. My hairline is receding. I'm Vegeta-ing basically. But I gotta cut my mohawk again. I've been admittingly very lazy with my haircuts, and even I let my beard grow out again. So I gotta do that. Girlfriend is dyeing her hair today, so once she's all done, I might do some trimming on the hair. Get my mohawk back out. No, that's okay. It's okay, dude. See, one of the things I gotta grow on, I gotta accept is just cracking a joke at myself, and sometimes I get a little sensitive about that stuff. So no, it's absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay. I'm in agreement. It's weird. It looks fine when it's just the mohawk, but you have just my regular hair and then this. It's definitely weird. And there's nothing wrong with that either. I've been known to do weird haircuts. If you guys go back and look at some of the older videos, I have some weird ass haircuts and hair colors in my history of time on YouTube alone, and you guys didn't even get to see some of the crazier things I was doing, when I wasn't making content. Do you have Goku? I have plenty of Gokus. I got a blue Goku. I've got Ultra Instinct Goku. I got Super Saiyan 3 and 2 Goku. I have 4 technically Super Saiyan Gokus. I do have the Daima Goku, waiting for it to ship from Ami Ami. The Daima Adult Goku. I have the Daima Mini Goku as well. I have plenty of Gokus, which I am waiting for Ami Ami to put their pre-orders up. They haven't put their pre-orders up. I'm 100% getting that new Super Saiyan Goku, the Games Begin version. I'm getting Ultraman Omega. I did get Mother of Ultra. I did get her pre-ordered on Nin last night. And I did get Cosmos finally on pre-order as well. They both dropped in September, so I just put them in the same order. How am I? I'm doing pretty good. It's been a crazy day. I did not expect to be streaming for 2 hours today. But I'm glad. Conversation's been good. I gotta... Ooh, okay. I got some phone notifications I gotta look at. Oh yeah, girlfriend is in deep with dyeing her hair. I'm pretty excited. But I'm very happy with where the channel's at. I am definitely more happy with myself personally in the way that I'm conducting reviews now, and I'm excited to continue growing. I am learning DaVinci very slowly. But I am getting there. the Shimo, or not the Shimo review. Um, the Mecha Gigantron should have some new stuff in it, some new things that I'm testing out, and then King of Mons has some new stuff as well. On Wednesday, the King of Mons review will drop Wednesday. Finally, I am sorry for everyone that voted for that review, and it's been kind of pushed back. I never like to do that when a figure is voted for. Um, the review is coming. Of course, the footage is old. It's the oldest footage for any of the reviews that are coming out right now. Um, but it's got some new editing things that I'm trying to spruce it up. It's nothing crazy yet. I'm gonna maybe try some fancy stuff with Mecha Gigantron tonight, editing wise, because I did try a few different things for the filming, small things, but we'll see. I'm excited to continue growing. April, the first month, kind of being mostly back, and I feel like it is definitely the best the channel's had in a long time. Um, Maybe not objectively, but personally wise, like I'm feeling very positive. I was talking to Thirsty Thursday Toys Adam about it a few nights ago. I think was it a few nights ago? I think so. Yeah, it was like 1 or 2 nights ago. It's hard. I've been getting back into the overnight schedule on accident with my sleep schedule. So like I'm awake for most of 2 days. I only sleep like 4 or 5 hours. So like I'm basically taking naps every day. Today I actually got some sleep, but I didn't get to sleep until 9 o'clock my time. So I am. What the hell? Oh, I was talking to him, being like, this whole month, like especially the last few weeks, have been like, I'm feeling really good. What the? Yes. I'm feeling. Are you suffering from insomnia? Yeah, yeah. I have insomnia. I have a pretty um, deep. It's bad in all my family, but mine. Both my parents had it, and I seem to get like a super. I got a lot of things from my parents that are worse than both. Um, a lot of things, but insomnia is definitely one of the things that my mom has that I just like. My dad kind of has it. He gets it like seasonally, and my mom has it all the time, and I got it. Mine's bad, you know. I mean, you can see the purple under my eyes, you know. It just is what it is. Medicine doesn't really work for it. I can't take meds for it because it's either I sleep 2 or 3 hours, and then on some days I can sleep like regular hours, like an 8 hour day, or I take medicine and I sleep for 18 hours. It's just not viable. And I've tried a lot of different insomnia medication, um, prescribed. Yeah, insomnia involved, dude. I gotta start like I need to start taking some of these moments and getting these written down because like when we can start like getting like stamps and custom emojis and stuff, like I wanna like I wanna get a bunch of stuff ready. Like a little insomnia involved emblem sounds really fun. Like, and that's one of the things that like I meant to do in February, and we still haven't really gotten close. I haven't tested too much. Getting the Xbox hooked up so we could stream Halo at least, or we can stream movies on Twitch, which that's still still something I want to do this year. I would say probably realistically I'll have something ready by Shin Godzilla's ninth anniversary, and maybe that's how we will celebrate Shin Godzilla's ninth anniversary this year. If you guys know, if there's one anniversary I celebrate for Godzilla, even more than the 70, like Godzilla's actual like November 3rd, it's Shin Godzilla's anniversary. So maybe that will be the thing that we try this year instead of making a live discussion and just talking about it. Maybe we'll watch the movie. Maybe we'll get a watch party. It's easy to plan because it's 3 months out from now. Um, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to guarantee anything, but that might be something I work on. Get some people in. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe we might just watch it solo. With you guys in the comments, of course. Plenty. I have ideas. Of course, nothing's solidified yet because, as the past has shown me, a lot of my ideas kind of just, crash and burn, and that's okay. You live and you learn. But I'm really proud of the channel and what I'm doing, and I'm really thankful that you guys seem to also really be liking everything that's coming out and the evolution. And I'm excited to continue doing it. The goal is always to grow, whether it's a personal growth, channel growth, like in the style, my skills, like I'm becoming a better editor. I'm really not good at it right now, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm almost as comfortable with DaVinci as I was with Premiere Rush, and I used Premiere Rush for almost 2 years, almost a year and a half, and I'm kind of already getting there with Resolve. There's still a lot of things that I have to like have two windows open and look up on YouTube and on Google, but like there's nothing wrong with that either, and I'm getting there. And if I can continue getting comfortable with it, I have the free version. If I can get comfortable enough, get myself in a good place, and the channel continues doing good, I can maybe make an expense to get the paid one, which has even more things added to it. Although I do hear that it kind of runs a little differently, some of the options and stuff. So I'd have to, weigh out if paying for a more technical version is worth it, if it's just going to make it more complicated and possibly make it more stressful. I have to compare. But that would be like an end of the year thing. Big things like that is like towards the end of the year, once I get a solidified job, figure out my health a little bit more. Because there's no point in figuring, buying all these things and then up and dying, That's a joke. I'm excited, and I'm glad I can share this journey with you guys. I'm very happy. I am very excited to keep moving, and as I kind of, I'm stressing a little bit, thinking about going online and seeing if that content creator that I really enjoyed, hopefully they got a response today. They said they're going to take their time, but with the things that have come out and the things that are continuing to come out, hopefully there's not more, but I've got a feeling this is just the tip of the iceberg. I hope something can get resolved there so I can feel a little less betrayed, I guess, as a fan, in the minimal sense of being a fan. But, they have an apology dance. Right now, so far, her response, her mini response is not very strong. So, yeah, I would not be kind of surprised if that kind of comes out. Just judging about what the little we know now, kind of seems like the apology video is going to be more like that. Hopefully, no song or dance. They have an apology. Hopefully not, but I kind of got a feeling that this content creator's career is probably done, and that hurts because this isn't the first time I've been a fan of something and things have come out. There's been things in the Godzilla community. There's been, I've talked about it before. Big Rooster Teeth / Achievement Hunter fan. We don't need to get into that from a few years ago. That was heartbreaking for me. And I mean, just kind of learning about Rooster Teeth in general. So I'm very excited for them to come back with Bernie and hopefully be a better company and more true to their values, their original values. Hopefully. Things getting corporatized is bad. It is always bad for things like this. I know it leads to a larger budget. It can lead to more opportunities, but corporatizing things, not good. At least right now, corporate America is one of the worst environments, working environments, I would say, ever. It's just not good. So, in my opinion, I'm very excited though for the future. We'll leave all that discussion right there. I'll put a pin in it before I get myself in trouble or something, because a lot of the things are still just kind of rumors. Like I said, nothing's guaranteed. I'm gonna wait to pass final judgment, but we'll see. I'm pretty excited to continue growing. I'm excited to get these new reviews out. Like Eleking, I might like Eleking might be my favorite of the three kaiju that I have out of the three Showa kaiju, I should say. So out of Red King, Gamora, and Eleking. Eleking might be my favorite. I'll be real. Eleking might be my favorite. Eleking's really good, feeling really good. I can't wait to catch up on the Ultraman line, personally and for channel. But be excited for content, guys. Next week might be busy, and the week after is definitely going to be busy with the Ami Ami box, Gamera, these two now, and then there is one more thing coming in. It's supposed to get here Wednesday. This was supposed to be a triple box day. I tried to. Normally with Amazon, they let you either do, like, if something's going to get here sooner than, you know, another section of the order, they normally let you do like a no rush to combine it all. They did not give me that option for this. So these two got here early, and there is one more thing coming. It is something that I have not owned from the Ultraman line yet. I've seen it in hand. I almost bought one at AMA 2023. But when I finally was like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy this now, because I was checking prices and stuff online, just to make sure I wasn't shooting myself too much in the foot, which it was an incredible deal. It sold. It sold right as I was going to get it. I saw the person walking away with it. I was just like, that's what I get for waiting. So I'm very excited to get that in hand as well. And I will spoil, it is an Ultra 7 Kaiju. So, you know, keep that keep that in your mind when we get there, whenever it gets here. It says it's supposed to get here Wednesday, but Shimo ended up getting here early, so, you know, we might have a surprise box day like Monday or Tuesday. So probably I would say the earliest probably is Tuesday. So, but you never know with them. But I want to thank everyone for watching. We're gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna go hang out with the Mi Familia a little bit, go ask the girlfriend how she's doing. Gonna take some personal time. Gonna edit this Mecha Gigantron review, hopefully get it done and ready, so we can have it premiering tomorrow. It will have a live premiere, kind of like Shimo did. I will hopefully be available to actually be there at the premiere in the comments. I wasn't with Shimo. It was unplanned. I was supposed to be there, but then I ended up having to run a few errands with the missus at the time. So hopefully tomorrow I will be free. I think right now I'm supposed to be free. I think the girlfriend might be at work, so, and I don't really go out unless it's with her. Right now my car's kind of in a shitty spot, so hopefully I'll be there so we can all talk through. Hopefully you guys are excited. For anyone who's an Ultraman fan, figure fan. Kind of crazy to be like the second or third review ever on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I'm the second still. There's only one review of it out there, and the figure's a month old at this point. It's kind of crazy. It is honestly crazy that there's only one review for this figure 1 month after it came out. So I'm very excited to show you guys how absolutely epic it is. That's it from me, though. Once again, everyone, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the support, all the comments, all the subscriptions, the likes, the view, everything. You guys are wonderful. I'm glad that I can make content that y'all enjoy, hopefully, and plan is right now to continue to do so. Yeah, so thank you all for joining me. I can't wait to see you guys again on another live stream. I think the live stream will be at midnight Monday, right when it turns Monday on the 28th. I think that's when the Dokkan banners come, so that's probably when I'll be going live. I would prefer not to go live tomorrow because of the Mecha Gigantron review. I want to make sure that I give the analytics love for her video, but we will see. We will see. Maybe we might go live tomorrow. We might go live, at the dead of night for Dokkan Monday, and then we'll go live Monday for a news segment, because there's plenty of things. I still haven't somehow talked about the sequel to -1 yet on the channel. That has to be a whole conversation of it in and of itself. And then toys, we got other things. So take care, everyone. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will see you guys tomorrow with Mecha Gigantron review, and that's it. Have a wonderful day, everyone.